I don't want some stranger breaking into my house and waiting to ambush me when I get home. My neighbors never set foot on my property at any time, so they couldn't be charged with trespassing, and they didn't do the painting. When I called the police, they reiterated that since the painters were hired, had a valid work order and were paid to do the job, they couldn't be charged with trespassing. It was also reasonable to assume the painters didn't know any better and that they were acting in good faith. I refused to let them win and resorted to rehiring a company to paint my house back to yellow out of spite. They were beyond furious. A few weeks later, they left me a note telling me I was a terrible and inconsiderate neighbor. They also told me they would be selling their house and leaving, hoping to get away from the eyesore I called a house. Little did they know, my revenge had just started. I was a petty person and wasn't going to let them off that easy after the stunt they just pulled. A month later, I saw them with a for sale sign posted on their front lawn. That's when an idea came to mind. I wanted to get even in a way they couldn't report me for and knew a perfect way to do that. One evening, I ordered bamboo rhizomes online and had them shipped overnight. Bamboo is an invasive species and is nearly impossible to get rid of once established. It also grows at an astonishing rate and can grow up to 8 feet tall. The next night, under cover of darkness, I crept into my neighbor's backyard. Using a sharp spade, I dug holes around the perimeter and planted the bamboo rhizomes. Over the next few weeks, I watched with glee as shoots sprang up all around their yard. To be honest, I had done some research but didn't realize just how bad the damage would get. At first, my neighbors didn't seem to notice. Soon their garden was destroyed and the roots started shooting up sharp spikes around their yard. Then the bamboo grew thick and tall, obscuring their windows and overtaking their lawn. Their for sale sign started to disappear behind the dense bamboo forest that was now their lawn. A week later, their for sale sign came down for good. The bamboo had done its work. My neighbors were stuck in that house unless they wanted to sell at a huge loss. Every time I looked out my window at the spreading bamboo and gray house next door, I felt a spark of justice. My revenge was as swift as it was sweet. And the best part? There was absolutely nothing my neighbors or anyone else could do about it. Unfortunately, my revenge was short-lived when I noticed the bamboo start working its way into my yard. I hadn't thought that far ahead, and before I knew it, the bamboo had started cracking my concrete driveway. Soon after, it became impossible for me to walk around without stepping on the sharp spikes that were now in my yard. Yesterday, I walked around the lawn to assess the damage when I noticed the bamboo shoots were an inch away from my house's foundation. On top of that, on the way back inside, I carelessly impaled my foot on one of the sharp spikes that had formed in my yard. I think my revenge may have gotten a bit out of hand. I was satisfied at first, but now I regret letting my emotions get the best of me. Also, because of the invasive nature of bamboo, I'm worried that it might not only destroy my house but keep spreading into other neighboring houses. Essentially, I've pretty much dug myself into a really deep grave. What should I do now?